Hey, welcome to the Retail Fix It podcast. I'm Lance Calvert, your host, president of Retail Fix It, and we are on our 337th episode. Just kidding. We've done a few of them. Don't know which one we're on. We're excited to get back on here today and do things that it just, real world scenarios, stuff we're experiencing that we want to bring into the podcasts because it's just relevant, to circumstances, real customers, real account managers, real service providers, and just kind of see how that mixes up on air in the industry and kind of maybe that can help create community and stuff. And so, but we've got some exciting topics. We've been bidding some preventive maintenance for some customers, and we've had some wins. We've had some losses. We're in the middle of some of them. And so that's kind of on our mind. And so that's one of the things we want to get into today. But I always like to start out because maybe this is your first time listening that you might not even know what we do. So Retail Fix It is a nationwide facility maintenance repair management company. So we do repairs for major retailers, restaurant chains, any multi-location facility owner. So if you're a commercial company and you own 5 or 10 or 5,000, typically our customers have hundreds in the hundreds or thousands of locations all across the United States where they have to get repairs done at those various locations. And, preventive maintenance, repairs, and projects. That's the three distinct departments in our company. We do repairs for, reactive things that occur, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, handyman, glass, flooring, ceiling, anything, any kind of repair, every single trade of repair all over the country in a responsive way as those things occur. And then we do preventative maintenance is going on a schedule to our customer locations in a scheduled contract to do HVAC PMs, to change the filters and check the units and make sure that we're preventing failures on as much as we can for, emergencies and breakdowns and that kind of thing. So you want to kind of do that on a scheduled maintenance to reduce emergency repairs and surprise catastrophic things would otherwise occur if you're not maintaining those systems. And you'd be surprised how many people are not doing that, even that own hundreds of locations that just are neglecting to do that based on a variation of reasons. But we do projects too. So we do major, remodels, refreshes, retrofits, and new concepts, seasonal changes, rollouts, things that, you might have even just a new poster or something that goes in the storefront window of every location. And we can roll that out across, all your locations in a streamlined way. We're having a lot of fun with it. We started the business in 2000. We started the podcast maybe, I don't know, 8 months ago or something like that. And we're really enjoying that. The shorts are doing real good, and the views of the entire podcast are increasing slowly. But we want to create community. We want to give relevant information to the industry and stuff that's impactful for everybody, that's in the industry, stuff that helps stimulate growth in your own company or your own in your own way in your life, stuff that might benefit you in ways and a lot of the stuff I talk about probably just maybe can stimulate other thoughts in you that are hopefully productive, and that kind of thing. So that's some of our agenda. If we pick up customers or potential customers, or especially service providers too, if there's five-star service providers or, high quality service providers that catch wind of us, that would be, we're always looking to grow that network. And so we're trying to restore trust to the industry. We're trying to build bridges and bring people together in this industry. There's been far too much division in our country and far too much things that pull trust apart. And so we hope to be used to pull people together, to restore trust and to build bridges and that kind of thing, because we could use some of that. We could all use some of that. But topics for today, we're going to talk about preventive maintenance, artificial intelligence, predictive maintenance, what that is, and how it could be utilized in client locations. You having your own in-house team to get these services done versus outsourcing to a nationwide company like ours to bring all your service, repairs, projects, and PMs into one consolidated company like us to partner with you and get those things done for you. So let's get started. Topic number one: why compliance automation tools are becoming an industry standard. So everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. It is becoming extremely useful. There's not a more relevant industry for it to be used now in than facility maintenance because of the nature of this industry. And some of the things that our customers don't know but are benefiting from, and sometimes some of them do understand it, but we want you to understand as a potential customer, or we have listeners that are existing customers. We are integrating artificial intelligence into document readers and stuff. So we have like between 5 and 6,000 certified registered subcontractors in the company as our army of repair people across the nation that we get these things done for. Well, they have to go through a lot of compliance. They have to have workers' comp on file. They have to have general liability insurance on file, automotive insurance on file. They have to have a W-9 on file with us. All these different, and then various, licensing. We have to not only get that from them initially, but we have to verify that what they sent us was up to date and signed and these kind of things, right? That they have a signature on them, and then we have to do renewals annually on all those documents for these over 5,000 contractors. So we have to keep workers' comp and general liability insurance renewals updated each year at any given time of each of those individual subcontractors' expiration dates. So, not everybody's insurance expires the same day. They all have varying dates. And so would take an army of people in our company to verify. So automation in our company and making sure that we're doing what technology can do for us and utilizing that is reducing our cost from manpower internally. It's reducing our cost to our customers because we're able to leverage technology. We've always been leveraging technology, well, for a very long time in terms of automation. Like, so if a service provider submits their invoice to us, the system can detect whether we already have an insurance certificate on file with them for these compliance areas. And it can even detect whether or not it's expired. What we're doing now is on the renewals, we don't even have, with artificial intelligence document reading, we're able to check if the vendor has the renewal date on those documents doesn't have to be verified in the first place. And like if a W-9 is signed and dated and what the date is. So, artificial intelligence is bringing in document reading, image reading, and those kind of things, which are reducing the workload from our internal team so we can continue to serve our customers and spend time on the phone with them, spend time listening and learning their brand and what we can do for them. So we're enjoying artificial intelligence with those in those types of ways and many other ways, but that's something that's exciting because it's such a redundant task and it can be handled with technology. So I encourage anybody that, needs those redundant tasks to kind of start to head that direction with it because it can help reduce those tasks for your teams too. Preventive maintenance, PMs in HVAC and in cleaning. When we bid a PM for our customers, we're being blessed with opportunities from our customers to bid PMs for them, for us to participate in doing HVAC PMs at hundreds of their locations all across the nation. And when we recently bid a PM for a customer, and we worked hard on it. I mean, we went out and did our due diligence. We went across the country and did our industry pulse read for this year's cost to try to find out what the best, what we were going to have to burden the spend on us would be that we could pass on to the customers. And, so we worked hard, did our due diligence. Well, we weren't awarded the whole thing. So we were given a piece of it, a small piece of it, but and that's okay. But it made me wonder the person that they did award that to. I was thinking, well, I wonder if the people they awarded it to, I hope that they're verifying proper completion, that the technician's going on that rooftop unit and he's actually changing and dating the filters, and that they have to upload a photo of that, and that they're verifying that somebody in that whole process is verifying that the work is actually being performed and that it's being performed properly. Because if you think about it, if I bid the PMs, we'll say for $300 per location, it's not that simple because some of your locations will have 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 units and there's varying prices. Like if you have 1 or 2 unit location, then it's going to cost more to change filters and do a PM check on 6 unit location versus a 1 or 2 unit location. So one size doesn't fit all. When you're bidding it, you got to know how many HVAC systems are at your customers' locations. But if I'm bidding, we'll just say every location, 500 locations, has one HVAC unit, and if I'm bidding all of those at $300 a piece and somebody else came in at $280 a piece, well, that's $20 times 500 locations. That's a significant savings that the customer is motivated to go with that cheaper cost. Or maybe it's 250, maybe it's $50 a location that they're saving by going with the 250 guy versus the 300 person. But is it that simple? Because what we really want to accomplish is actually maintaining the system. And there's a series of things that we have in place to verify proper completion. First of all, the integrity that we have, our ideology of what kind of tech to partner with, extremely local vendor, and the right grassroots, almost like one man in a truck type guy is what you want to use, because those guys are the business owner that it's actually going on the roof. You don't want to hire the HVAC company I'm telling you, you don't want to hire the HVAC company that's got, 15 or 20 techs working for them. That's not for every one of those. That's not necessarily the case, but for the most part, generally speaking, you'd rather use the guy that owns the company that's going to go up there and do it, because he's still got that old school integrity of in his name's on it, and he's going to be doing the PM properly. When you've got a lot of techs, they'll go up there and swap the filters out and jump off the roof, and they're done. So you're not really getting a PM. At best, you're getting the right filters put in and changed, and really no verification of that. So what I'm getting at is, if I bid 500 locations for my customer at $300 each, and the competitor of mine bid it for $250 each. Again, that's a significant savings. Say it's $50 they saved per location. And we'll say it's 500 locations in this example. I get it. That's significant. But what are they doing to verify proper completion? What's the integrity level, and how is that being verified? And how is it streamlined the way it's being verified to the service providers so they're not burdened down with technology to do that? Is it even being verified and documented in the closeouts to the customer? So if you can't verify the tech's actually going on the roof, using the right filters to change, and he's dating the new filters and doing the checklist and taking a picture of the coils and the types of things that are being charged for and changed and fixed, then you're not going to know. So you're not going to know. And so some of these people can come in here, and I'm not saying this is the case. Look, we didn't get awarded this big contract that we were bidding, and we did get awarded some other ones, and we're still working on some other ones. But I'm just talking about my concern for taking the lowest bid in a PM bid without comparing and knowing what kind of technology, what kind of systems, what kind of vendors, partners, provider A is utilizing versus provider B. Because here's where, yeah, you saved $50 maybe per location, but here's the real tell of if you're going to save money is if your HVAC units are maintained, then you're going to dramatically reduce the emergency service calls and reactive maintenance service calls that are not on that schedule. And so the breakdowns and the break fix calls of those HVAC systems should dramatically decrease because they're being maintained. And so if they're not properly maintained and you went with the cheaper guy, then you're going to continue to have the breakdowns without any reduction of that. And so you're going to spend thousands on those emergency breakdowns, and you're going to have surprise visits from the customers. You're going to have hot stores. that are not during the summer months. You're going to have a hot store that's down until they get there and get the parts ordered, and all these just frantic emergency catastrophic situations. So it's not always um, as simple as just going with the guy that's maybe a few dollars less. And I don't know how much less in that particular example I was with that customer, but it does make me wonder, and we're really, really focused on making sure that we're verifying, using the right service providers, and that we're making it easy for those service providers to provide us with the necessary verification so we know and are confident of what they're doing on our customers' roofs and that they're actually getting maintained properly. And that and we want to just calm the waters of our customers' emergency calls, reduce those emergency calls, and make it to where, yeah, we might have cost 50 more dollars per location in the bid because that's probably a necessary cost to get the right guy there that's going to take his time. He's going to change the filters. He's going to write down any issues that need to be addressed. He's going to put those in our system. We're going to get approval to proactively address those issues until it so it doesn't turn into a big explosive emergency that's going to cost everybody a lot of time and headache and money later. So we really just want to settle those waters, and we hope that our customer, didn't go with somebody that's just low bidding and then it's going to be chaos. And I truly genuinely hope that they didn't do that and that's not the case. But you know what is cool, we have a couple states that they gave us to retain in this that hopefully they approve us on that particular customer. And then we can kind of show that in those states where they did give us, and maybe there's a comparison there and we'll all learn, maybe we can learn that the other people are doing just as good and they were able to do it cheaper. But maybe our customer learned that we're doing it in a way if they look at the overall spend, that we reduced those emergencies. We reduced those reactive maintenance calls because we did the PMs properly. We verified it properly. And really, they spent 50 more dollars, per visit for us for the PMs, but they saved thousands in emergency, reducing and even eliminating the need for emergency service calls. And so I really wanted to dig into that today because who knows, sometimes who knows, but it's a moving target, right? It's not just as simple as this is $25 cheaper than this guy, because you get what you pay for, and it's not necessarily cheaper. It's just looks cheaper. And then it's going to cost you in those emergencies a tremendous amount of money and headache. So we don't wish that our customer, just because we didn't get the bid, we don't wish that our customer experiences those type of headaches and problems. But if that is the case, that we could be here to show them how to really do it and save the money. So and kind of create a peaceful situation. A scheduled visit to your sites is a lot better than an emergency surprise visit, where it's just not good timing, and then it's costing all this money. And emergencies, the techs are going to charge time and a half and double time for emergencies. So at least, and then they've got to order parts. There's inevitabilities. If a compressor goes down and they can't get one locally, they're ordering a part. Now your HVAC system's down for 3 or 4 days, and your customers and even your teams are hot, especially. Don't necessarily go too cheap on who you utilize to award a big PM project to, because they might be the company that's actually charging you the right amount to do it right, to save you thousands around the corner. If you're a potential customer of ours, if whether you used us or you don't, find out if the company you're partnering with is using extremely local service providers. Find out what kind of HVAC companies they're partnered with. Is it big companies, or is maybe the owner, that guy that's going on the roof? I vote for that guy. I'm just telling you. And then finally, are they verifying proper completion? So those are some tips that will really help you. You know what? A lot of times these multi-site facilities, they don't want a PM program in place because of exactly what I'm talking about. They don't know if it's actually happening. They don't know if it's actually being performed. They don't know what they're getting. And that's what Retail Fix It brings, is full exposure to your desk. Of if you have 5,000 locations, we bring those verification of proper completion proof into your portal to where you can look at your locations in a streamlined way. It won't take you all day, and you'll know that we're doing it right. And the proof is in the metrics. You've got reporting and stuff in the portal that's going to tell you, well, look, yeah, the PMs, we did that. But look, based on last year's emergency service calls, we didn't do a third of those this year. So the cost for that, for the HVAC total spend for this, is not about how much did you pay for the PMs. It's how much did you pay for the PMs plus your reactive and emergency, right? It's how much did you spend on those HVAC units, and were they, and are you going to get the lifespan out of those because they're being maintained properly, And so I don't care how much I spent on potato chips and bread. I want to know what the total grocery bill was, right? So not just the part of it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. So know who you're using, and Retail Fix It has got verification technology and real account managers with real relationships with their service providers. That matters in place. So that's how we're doing it. But that concludes our episode for today. We hope that you guys learned something about PMs, and we're learning every day, and things are changing. There's technology and all those kind of things that's changing the game. Predictive maintenance is something we'll talk about in the future, but it's we're looking into that too, and that's Internet of Things, and there's devices where we can predict beforehand that there's some things in the pipeline of a potential breakdown that we can detect before that. But we want to save that for another episode, but we're going to talk about that too. But what's important is that everybody feels like they got out of bed for a reason today, and they have a purpose in life, and it's a powerful purpose, and God knows exactly where you are, how many hairs are on your head, and loves you more than you can imagine, and has a destiny in his heart that's specific, that only you can accomplish on planet Earth. There's nobody else on this planet that can accomplish the destiny that God outlined for your life before the foundation of the world. Before the foundation of the world, you were planned, and you were planned for good works for him, and that's hidden in his heart, and he loves you, and he wants to carry that out with you in partnership with you, because he loves you like any dad loves their kids, but maybe infinitely more. So know that, and be very blessed. We appreciate every single listener more than you can even know, and we look forward to continuing to connect. But like, share, and subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. Put some comments in there and let us answer some questions. But thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Retail Fix It podcast.